Hello. In this series of React, we will be learning everything from scratch. Even if you have never heard about React, or if you already know the basics, or just want to brush up again on some concepts, this is the perfect series for you. So, welcome to Complete Course of React. What is React? React is a free open source front end JavaScript library. It is not a framework but a JavaScript library. React was first created by Jordan Walk, a software engineer working for Facebook. It was first deployed on Facebook's newsfeed in 2011 and later on Instagram in 2012. React is one of the most popular library for building single page applications. What does single page application mean? A single page application is an application that loads a single HTML page. So it will not load multiple HTML pages but only load a single HTML page and all the necessary assets like JavaScript, CSS, everything that is required for the application to run. It will load only once in a single HTML page. And any interaction with the page or subsequent pages do not require a round trip to the server, which means the page is not reloaded. React allows us to create reusable UI components. What does reusable components mean? In React, a reusable component it is a piece of UI that can be used in various parts of an application to build more than one UI instance. For instance, if we have a button component that displays different texts on different pages, then we just have to create it once. We don't have to create it again and again. We can just define a button in a component, and that component, whenever a button is required, we can use that component, and we can also change some features in it by using props, which we will study in everything in depth in this series in the future. React is a tool for building UI components. That means it is a front end library which builds things that we see in the user interface. Those things are built by React. Okay, now for the installation. First, I want you to go to your command prompt and type in node-v. You can see I have uninstalled everything and we don't have node or we don't have nvm. So we will start everything from scratch and install everything right now. So I'll click on this and open. So now we will just, this is what I am doing. This is how I am installing. Now I will go ahead and check if it is installed. Yes, you can see. Now let's go ahead and I have, let's go to desktop first. CD, that is change directory. So I am in my desktop now. Now I want to create our first React application. We will use npx create dash react dash app my app. I want to name my application my app. And for we need an editor too. So let's go ahead and install an editor. The editor that I am using is Visual Studio Code and I would recommend that to you as well. If you are already using an editor, of any other kind and not Visual Studio Code, go ahead, use that, no issues. But this is what I will be using, and so I'm showing it to you. So I'll get back to you once this is installed, once we have created our application. Open up our Visual Studio Code editor that we will be using. So as you can see, this is our VS Code that we opened. We have to open folder. As you can see, we are inside my dash app. That is our application name. So you can see all these node modules that have been installed. You can see a folder called public, which has all these things, and you can see this one HTML file in this entire application. You can just see this one HTML file. So these things are already there that we will get rid of very soon. So as you can see, our application is up and running. Now you can see this is a React logo, and on on top you can see React app is written over here, and we are currently running in localhost 3000, all these things and this. So now what we can do is we can pretty much come, so you can see compile successfully. It's all good. Just cross it out. And what we want to do is, first of all, get rid of the things we don't really want. I don't want this. I'll get rid of that, this, I think. And yeah, so we can just clear all these things out, and we can just write hello world, just to start off. And by the way, for formatting, you can see my code did get format automatically. I'm using some extensions. I'll get to that in a second. But I also want to, I don't want this. Now if you come to the Chrome, you can see hello world written over here, all good and nice. How we are doing. Now if you click on Control tilde, you can see this terminal coming up. And if I click on type in Control tilde again, it goes away, or Control J. That is a shortcut you can use. Shortcuts are extremely important. So yeah, let's check out the extensions that are installed in my machine. Um, these are the ones I'm using. Bracket pair colorizer. I'm using Code Runner, commit message editor, ES7 React Redux, Git history. Yeah, and so many more. Git lens. I'm using Go outliner, text, Golang. Okay, so the ones you should be installing is number one, Prettier for code formatting, and you can install ES7 React, commit message editor. These are things I would recommend you for now. So yes, this is our first application. Hello world. Now let's quickly go through. I'll go through these in the next video. That will be good.